Yesterday, we were invited out by Universal Studios Hollywood and Getaway Today to see how much we could get done using Express Pass. We only had 6 hours in the park because we arrived a little bit after noon and the park was closing at 6 p.m. and my sister and I were on a mission to do as much as we could in less than 6 hours. After meeting a couple cute characters on the way in, our next stop was the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, where we went to the Three Broomsticks for lunch. Our lunch was delicious and we ate our food and drank our butterbeer and then went to our first ride before 1 p.m. Since we were already in the Wizarding World, we did both rides in the Wizarding World first, starting with Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey and then heading over to the Flight of the Hippogriff ride. With Express Pass, we were able to do both those rides very quickly, and then we decided to head to our first show of the day, which was Kung Fu Panda Adventure over in the DreamWorks Theater, where you can also use Express Pass. After that, it was back to riding rides, but on our way over to The Secret Life of Pets, we actually ran into a couple more really fun and interactive Universal characters that we stopped to say hi to. Before 2 o'clock, we were ready for our next ride, The Secret Life of Pets, and then luckily right across the way from that was another ride, Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. Despicable Me Minion Mayhem is such a cute ride, and luckily when you exit that ride, you actually exit right out into Super Silly Fun Land, where there was another ride that we could get right on called Silly Swirly. Then it was time to head to our next ride, which I actually don't ride that often because usually the line is really long, but since we had Express Pass, we did decide to go on the Simpsons ride. By this point, we were about 3 hours into our day and had already done 6 rides and a show. The next ride we knew was going to take a little bit longer to ride because the studio tour does take between 40 minutes and an hour depending on where your tour guide takes you that day, because it does change regularly, but we knew we had to go on the Universal Studio Tour because that is something that is so special and iconic at Universal Studios Hollywood. And we got off of the studio tour with perfect timing to head over to the last Waterworld show of the day, which was happening at 4 o'clock. From there, it was time to head down to the lower lot, which was actually kind of fun to do because we got to see all the construction happening with the new Fast and the Furious roller coaster. First up on the lower lot, we rode the Revenge of the Mummy, the ride, and then headed over to say hi to Megatron, who just happened to be out when we were walking by. Then it was time for Transformers the Ride 3D before heading to our last stop of the day in Super Nintendo World. Our goal at the beginning of the day had been to do everything that you can do with Express Pass in under 6 hours, and we were actually able to do it all in under 5 hours. Counting our last ride, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, we were able to do 10 rides and 2 shows in less than 5 hours. But even though we had done everything that you can do with Express Pass, there was still more fun stuff to do in Super Nintendo World. With our leftover time, we decided to go and play all of the interactive games that you can play with your power-up band. We started with the 4 games that you need to play in order to win your keys to enter Bowser Jr.'s lair. We won our 3 keys and were able to go into Bowser Jr.'s lair, where we won the Golden Mushroom. So to answer my own question, yes, you can do everything at Universal Studios Hollywood in under 6 hours.